moving vlog number 6, I believe it is. It's, I recorded a video yesterday, but deleted all of it because I just wasn't on my A game. In fact, I'm not really on my A game today. Haven't been feeling great, and also a lot of the moving anxiety has been getting to me, but I figured I'd catch all of you up to speed. I put more stuff in the bookcase, got to the 3rd shelf even. You know, you're probably wondering, like, you have all these books. It's like, I'll tell you why. Every birthday and every Christmas, I get like these big Marvel books and these big like Disney books and these big like I even got this like Star Wars tome here, the Ultimate, but that's a DK book. And I get these for birthdays and Christmases, and it's like, they're so cool though, because there's something, it hits different when you're reading it all printed in a book rather than reading constant, you know, tons of articles on the makings of movies. Also, you're not dealing with poor web design where there's constant like, there's constant design flaws that slow your browser down and whatnot, and things constantly popping up. It's like, yeah, I know ad blocker, but you know, it shouldn't be like that. I mean, you know, I could go on all day about how much I can't stand modern web design. It's like, sometimes I just want to go to a site and just read a damn article. And I always have to switch on reader mode if a site actually has it. So that's one thing books have over, you know, printed pages have over that. I get lots of Beatles books, I get lots of Marvel books, lots of Disney books, like this thing right here. This thing is a freaking monolith. The Story of Marvel Studios. I just recently got this, it's still in the shrink. And it's just a whole, it's 2 whole-ass books. Are these Tuscan? No, these are Abrams. I don't think I've ever heard of Abrams. They might as well be Toscan books though. I mean, look at this thing. And it's a whole 2 books about the first 3 phases of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, like the Infinity Saga, as it's known as. Lately, though, I've been kind of drifting a bit from the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Like, I'll still go see the movies. I still haven't seen Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. It's the first MCU movie, going on a tangent here, that I've missed in the theaters since the 2008 Incredible Hulk movie with Edward Norton. Like, and I feel bad because I really wanted to see Wakanda Forever. I'm gonna watch it on Disney Plus. I missed it in the theaters. I've only seen like maybe 3 to 4 movies over the past like 3 months. Those would be Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, which I loved. Strange World, which I enjoyed. The Menu, I loved The Menu. And what else did I say? I think only those 3 movies, because prior to Strange World, last movie I saw was in October. That was Smile, which I didn't like. But yeah, I haven't been able to see too many movies lately, and I was trying to see Megan recently, but that hasn't worked out either. Here's another big ass book that I was given recently. This is a whole like thing on X-Men. Like, look at that cover. Like, more books for me to get lost in. Some of these I haven't even opened yet because I haven't had the time. Like, all these years I've been spread too thin, and once I'm like settled in and it's a nice peaceful night and I'm not streaming or anything, or I'm not working on comics, I'll just grab one of these. I have like a whole ton of them that I gotta get started on. I would say like half of this shelf I've actually read. I've read most of the animation books pretty much, and most of the comics. I don't know, I feel like most of these moving vlogs have just been about this shelf full of books and me going on tangents, but hey, I like to hang out. I like to just futz around and talk. It's what I do. It's my info dump. But yeah, where was I going with that Marvel talk? Oh yeah, I mean, like I said, I was kind of drifting away from the MCU, but I still want to get lost in these books, just from a film production sort of standpoint, and how they made it all work in that system despite the flaws and everything. Like, I still want to really read up on that. You know, this is probably like the most comprehensive look at the first 3 phases. Otherwise, most of the stuff I was up to yesterday, which was February 7th, I believe, Tuesday, February 7th. If I got the date wrong, I'm sorry. So I moved that very basic bookshelf to the closet in my studio. This is some desk organizer thing that I haven't put together yet. It was given to me. I'm gonna use this shelf for all my physical copies of my video games. So I have some Switch games here. I've got old PS2 and Xbox games, which I really want to stream. I got to get one of those. I really got to get one of those things that converts the 3 colored cables to HDMI. I would love to stream some of these. And I got some Wii U games even. Yes, I had a Wii U. Because I have a PS1 game in here too, and just a jewel case. So it's the original Spyro the Dragon. And here are all my PS3 and PS4 games. And like I was saying earlier, I was a very spread thin person for many years because I tried to like commit to a bunch of different things. I don't have too many PS3 or PS4 games, and I didn't really play games as much as I wanted to. Whenever I did, I'd get some random titles here and there. I did play a lot of Disney Infinity, that's for sure. But yeah, like my latest game was a game that came out in 2020. I really want to get the PS5 and stream a bunch of titles for the PS5. And you're probably wondering, wait, why do you have some of these games? I never even seen you talk about those, or you never alluded to having, like, what's a game like Cabela's Dangerous Hunts 2009 doing in your collection? It's like, I can explain. That one requires a lot of context. Maybe if I stream it on Twitch, I'll give like the full backstory, the just full on Kyle O lore. Okay, so you're probably wondering, what are these? So years and years ago, I used to record stuff off of TV with VHS tapes, and I'm really curious to see what's on these things. I mean, I know what's on most of them, but sometimes I forget. Like, from what I recall, it was a lot of like Adult Swim stuff. Like I would record in 2007 like episodes of like Aqua Teen Hunger Force and Metalocalypse and stuff like that. I watched a lot of Adult Swim back in the day, and then I kind of drifted away from Adult Swim around the early 2010s. I don't know. I don't know. I haven't seen a single episode of Rick and Morty, which is arguably their most mainstream show. Like, from what I understand, it's the one that really broke the mainstream, more so than something like Aqua Teen. I've never watched Rick and Morty. I've only seen like little bits and pieces of it, but it just never really appealed to me. But yeah, like it's a bunch of Adult Swim stuff. There might be some gameplay footage on here too. I remember I would like, because you know, I'm a weird person. I recorded on VHS in like the year 2008. Here's me playing something like Sonic Adventure, or for the Dreamcast, or like Driver or something like that for the PS1. I like to do weird things. I think the entirety of Watership Down is on one of these tapes, because at the time I didn't own that movie on DVD. So I remember filming, like taping an IFC airing of Watership Down. And the interesting thing about the IFC airing was that they sourced the film from a PAL DVD. It was in the higher pitch. But then eventually I got Watership Down on DVD. They re-released the film to DVD in the United States in 2008. It was kind of a bare bones edition though. It had like a retrospective like thing on it that ran about 5 to 10 minutes and a couple other bonus features. That was about it though. I never owned the 2002 DVD, I want to say it was. But yeah, that's what I largely expect to be on these tapes. Also Death Note. At the time, Death Note's US dub was airing on Adult Swim, and I was like really hooked on that series back in the day. And there's a lot of that on there too. And also like all the commercials. So I plan to digitize the tapes. Not like the shows themselves, of course, because the copyright police would come after me. I would like to put like the commercials on there and such, the 2007, 2008 era commercials. Once I have the time, I would love to do that. Up here are whole CD binders of just games. I was kind of careless when I was younger. I lost like cases to games and DVDs and such, or either I lost them or I just... It's like, and you would think, because I'm a collector and I like to keep everything in tip-top shape, but back then, I was more spontaneous, and not in a good way when it came to these sorts of things. This is like a Converse thing. These are like from the early to mid 2000s, back when having these was a big thing. Like my parents had these big ass CD cases, like 2 of them. That's where a lot of my musical taste came from, a lot of my education in music. And this was something I kept a lot of game stuff, game software. It's up here for now. So yeah, that's, so far this is my studio closet. Of course, it's gonna have a lot more stuff in it once all is said and done, but yeah. I spent 6 minutes talking about this and waffling on. Most of my work yesterday was also done here in the kitchen. Some new mugs. Well, they're not really new. They were just never, I don't know why this is still open. They were just never open. My parents gave these to me. Just, you know, like I showed in the last vlog, some additional mugs that I put away. Actually, I had to wash these because they had residue on them from stickers. Like there were these stickers on the sides of them. And they said things like, oh, it's a handmade, or it's like, why would you put a sticker like that on a coffee mug? It's like, put it on the bottom at least. I don't know. That means you have to run the thing under hot water, and I still feel residue on these. Like, I got them off as much as I could. Like, I guess it's not gonna be perfect, but I had to run these under hot water with the Dawn soap, because the Dawn soap is apparently powerful enough to remove oil slick from animals, so it better live up to that when it comes to, like, you can still see some of the residue there. I could probably just like pick that off myself, run it under hot water again. You see, I don't have a dishwasher. I guess, you know, when you're living on your own, you have to make sacrifices, and no, I don't have a dishwasher, so that's something I have to learn to live with, and have to hand wash everything, which I don't mind. I do not mind whatsoever. It's not like I'm gonna constantly have parties and people over. So I'm gonna put these away. They've been drying since yesterday. Probably run them under hot water again just to triple check. Actually, I'm gonna stack them up here. Don't wanna clink them too much. But yeah, you could tell that those are the ones back there, but they've never been used. Finally got a sorter for the silverware. This is like older silverware. I almost said silverware that belonged to my parents for years. It's almost like vintage. These look like they're from the 90s. But hey, that's fine by me. I mean, I want this, I want a vintage sort of aesthetic to this place. I think I put away some other stuff down here too. Yeah, that little crocker there. I love using those things. It's just perfect if you want to microwave something and have a little air to it too. And I think today, again, it's Wednesday, February 8th, I'm gonna head to Walmart, which again isn't too far from me, and I'm gonna take a look and see if they have, I saw this shelf, this cubicle shelf on their website, and I want to get 2 of them and put all the rest of my stuff in there, like Blu-rays and half of my VHS collection and all that good stuff. And I said on I think it was the previous vlog, there's gonna be like a little thing below the TV that's gonna have a bunch of Blu-rays in it too. So yeah, I'm gonna go look today and see if they got it, because if they do, I could just truck it right over here and start working on it. And on Tuesday, I also moved this whole bag of Disney pins to this place. I did a whole ASMR video on that. So that's with storage and the Funko Pops and everything, and all this other additional stuff. And just some more unpacking stuff, whole things of cookware and such. I still gotta break these out, get the residue off of them, but that's gonna be its own sort of separate session. Mission accomplished. All right, February 10th, I'm gonna finally put this thing together. I bought a ton of Blu-rays and DVDs and other stuff with me, so today's gonna be a long one, I think. All right, so it's finito some half hour or so later. It's still pretty small though. This thing came with like these additional sort of slides that you put behind the waffles so that it doesn't go, like if you're pushing something into the thing, it doesn't go past it. Like there's like a little back wall there, but you have to like hammer and nail those into like the back. And honestly, I like it as is. I think I'm just gonna leave it as is because I'm mostly gonna put random stuff on here. I'm probably not gonna buy another one. I'm just surprised at how small it is. I was expecting it to be a little bit bigger after assembly, but no, it's a fairly small, well, not small, but it's not as big as I would have thought it was, but at least it's not like overbearing when you come in. Like it's like, hey, you're greeted with all this stuff. I think I'm going to bring the black one from home and kind of move this one over a little bit and then put the black one here so that there's kind of a checkerboard aesthetic going on here. I think would look nice, honestly. Like, leave some space here in the corner so that there's room between the two of them. Like, yeah, and there's enough room here to put a power strip and such. I mean, I'm gonna have to, because that's the only outlet to a TV that'll be put over here. I am pretty, and also it's nicely centered. Again, it looks like a waffle. I like these sorts of bookcases. So I'm gonna start filling this up with Blu-rays now. So I unloaded pretty much all the Blu-rays I brought here today, and DVDs as well. DVDs are on the bottom. This is not the most ideal. I gotta dust these off too. I apologize for that sight. I got to, I mean, it's not the most ideal situation, but I'm just gonna have to pull out a title and see what's behind there whenever I have to watch something. But this'll do for now. I think it was affordable, and when the time comes and I can afford a really nice bookcase that's maybe even taller than this and looks nicer and holds a bunch of stuff, and it's like very nice, like it's more to my liking, then I'll invest in that. But that's a later on down the line kind of thing. So yeah, the top two shelves are Blu-rays only, and there's a couple of Blu-ray box sets down here too, and then largely just DVDs. I decided to lump the TV shows together. I have them separate in the Blu-ray collection. I don't know why. I just like to go in chronological order of when everything's been released. Like, you'll notice like Futurama Volume 7 there, and then Futurama Volume 8 there. I'm that kind of person, but I decided for the DVDs, you know, I'm just gonna put them, especially the Futurama volumes. The Futurama volumes are weird because they don't go by season. They just go by how many episodes they could cram onto the disc. So I have to look up like the episode in question, and you're probably getting a headache just from hearing me say that. But yeah, I look up the episodes like, okay, what's the first episode on this disc? And it's like, that's the 6th episode of season 3 or something. It's like, it's never Futurama season 1, 2, and 3 where I could just look up when the season first started airing and then sort of adjust them accordingly. Like, no, I go the extra mile. But for the DVDs, I was just like, screw it. I'm also not feeling great today, so I'm trying to get this all done as much as possible so I can head back home and rest up a bit. Never a good feeling. But yeah, I put like the sort of bigger box sets down, like something like the Bad Guys, as you can see there. It's like a collectible edition, collector's edition that comes with like a book, and it's like, you know, I just put it down here. Like all the thin cases up here, and steel books as well, because those are thin, and then the wider cases down here. So that's how I have it for now, and maybe tomorrow I'll bring the black waffle bookcase up, and then we'll see how it all looks. It should be fun, honestly. Also got my washer and dryer. That's always a plus. February 11th, more Blu-rays, more DVDs and such to unload. But because I don't have the other waffle bookcase over here today, I'm gonna need somebody to help me get that out of the basement. I'm just gonna put them all in here for now. Though I keep forgetting that I'm being given this sort of black cabinet that's gonna go below the TV. So a lot of the Blu-rays will go in there as well, because, you know, the other waffle bookcase doesn't need to have just Blu-rays. And the other thing I wanna clarify is, this is like all animation here, and the rest are live action or VFX movies and stuff like that. There are also a couple of like additional releases of certain Disney films. Like there's a couple of Blu-rays I double dipped for, like Pinocchio and Bambi and a few others. So there'll be a couple of repeats there. So I have 2 Blu-ray copies. Some of them are 4K re-releases, and some of them the original Blu-ray releases, if that makes sense. Like I have the original Blu-ray release of The Lion King, but what's on the shelf, you can't see it, but I think it's like right here. It's the Steelbook 4K release. So yeah. So this is like the animation showcase right here. The rest are like live action movies and live action VFX movies, because really most of the blockbusters being made today have so much animation in them, but that's, you know, I don't want to waffle on about that. So yeah, all the rest of my Blu-rays are in here, and I decided to move the waffle to this corner because this vent, like the heat it gives off, I don't know, maybe I'm just not bright, but I get worried that it's just gonna melt the plastic in the DVDs and Blu-rays in its radius. So it's like, you know what, I moved it over here. So when I get the black one over here, I can do the checkerboard thing. I think the black one is just as tall, so I think it'll look nice. And I put all my animated movie DVDs in this bottom shelf right here. So again, this is the animation showcase waffle, and the black one will be either the rest of these Blu-rays, or the Blu-rays will go into the cabinet that's gonna go under the TV. I think most of them are gonna go there, if not all of them, if it can fit them all. I think the black one will be kind of like a mix of things. And then maybe I'll get some decoration to put over here. Again, it's all, you know, it's all tentative. Still deciding, still figuring things out. This is probably gonna be the end of the vlog right here. I think I combined like 3 or 4 days worth of, I just lost my train of thought. I'm reading a text as I'm recording this. Yeah, this video I think is gonna be composed of like the last 3 or 4 days of moving stuff. So yeah, I think we're gonna cap it off here. Thanks for watching. This is Kyle O. Bye-bye.